So today I had some frame member work I had to do. I've got this side all done, and it has to do with this strut mount, which is right here. We'll see from the other side, because this guy was just kind of hanging in there. So I had to strip out the other bracket, the shock point mount, and I attached the new one, and so the other one I'm going to take out on the other side today. So you can see here is what the original looked like, if I can get this in here. So there's this 3 rivet pattern. On the other side I ground these down and then punched it out, and that's what affixes the rear shock to the frame here. So again, these are the mount points, and these are these were I believe actually riveted on at the factory. At least that's what it seemed to be from the other side. And normally, from what I've seen in some other videos, an oxyacetylene torch works. Gotta get it focused a little bit. Oxyacetylene torch works wonders on those rivets, but you know, I don't have that. But what I do have that seems to work just fine. So this one was off of the driver's side rear. I didn't know that when I bought it, but that's how it was. I mean, it broke off of that mount point, and I mean, it's not super bad, but actually it really is. So that one's that side, and made some progress. Here I have detached this guy, so this one's just kind of hanging from the bottom there. It was mounted right there, and it's hanging here now. So that one is free, so there will be no decompression whenever I go to remove these two and that third bolt over there and pop that mount point bracket out to the inside of the frame. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. And if you look, I don't know if it'll pick this up, but if you look, oh hey, it picked it up. Hey, focus, and maybe try to, there we go. So if you look at that circle that you see there is actually the rivet itself. So you can tell that I've ground down to the diameter that I need to be. I've kissed the frame a little bit there, but that's to be expected, and I'm fine with that. So eventually I'll drill in here in order to compromise the integrity of all that, and then I can just, it'll just be like a cylinder instead of a solid rod, and I'll just be able to pop it out and just keep hitting on it from this side and pop it out that way through the other side of the frame. So I got this guy here to do, and then this guy here to do, and then the whole thing should just pop out away into the truck, into the inside of the frame, just like I did the other one. Proper bearing protection. I don't want to be hearing this all day. So I've got the rivet heads ground down, and I've been beating on it. You know, you can see the puck marks there with a hammer, but of course this is get it to focus here a little bit. Of course the problem becomes that there's too much pressure on the frame from the rivet itself, so I've got to drill some pilot holes and actually bore this out so that I can continue the process of removing it. You can see how I've drilled out some pilot holes in here. Yep, come on, focus, focus. Try it again. There, yep, maybe again. Here we go. There we go. So you can see how I've drilled out some pilot holes in here, and you can see now the rivets themselves. I've pushed them in to the frame a little bit. That one especially. This one's hanging on a little bit, so I gotta maybe drill that out a little bit more. But this one's looking pretty good, and you can see right here where I have basically broken the edge of the cylinder of the rivet, and then that starts to basically collapse, so that you can just push it through to the other side of the frame. Almost there. So there's number 2. Able to pop that out of there. Hopefully it'll focus for me. There you go. So I just left it, you know, because I knew I was gonna remove this strut. I didn't even bother to take this guy off here. And yeah, I'm so glad I decided to replace this at the same time that I replaced the other one. You can see that's what I meant. Let's see if it'll focus. This is what I was, come on, focus. Maybe is it? Yeah, there we go. This is what I meant by compromising that structural integrity right there. If I just break the corner on this right here, then this whole thing just collapses and it becomes like a cone instead of a cylinder, and I can just drop it out of there. Same thing there. This one was more like a cylinder, so it was like actually the last one to come out. But yeah, it's probably about time. So, got them all tightened up, nice and shiny. Going on there, and the bracket, the mount point I should say, been affixed to the inside, and so we're ready for struts. I got a couple of Bilsteins here. I'll provide the part numbers and all that. These should be good for the rear. Yeah, we'll get good focus. I also picked up this guy here just to have on hand, because what I took off looked like that. I don't really want to put that back on. So I got a couple of these, and see how it works. So got these bad boys installed, and it took a little bit of doing, but hey, we got light here today. All right, but man, I am so incredibly happy with how they turned out, and just stopped in to get some stainless bolts here. This is stainless. Hopefully it kind of comes through, but the bolts that I picked up, yeah, see if I can get it to focus. I can get a different camera. Can't get it to focus. Come on. And autofocus maybe. There we go. That's a little better. So this guy was really cool and all, but it did not fit the profile of the mount that I have, so it was unfortunately pretty much useless to me. But you know, that's okay. It's really nice part. I would have loved to have used it but it just doesn't fit the mounts that I have in my particular case. So something interesting with me, what I did was actually affix the shock to the shock mount point there first, and then I put the entire assembly in here and bolted down those 3 bolts once I had this guy all set up. So that was kind of nice, and it allowed me to a little extra play up there with the distance that I had to play with down here. And I was blown away. I was floored by the fact that like it was maybe half an inch difference. And I'll post some resources for the equipment and parts that I've used here. But I found this YouTube video on these gentlemen working on a similar one that I had, similar to mine. Basically a 4-inch lift on 33s, which is pretty much what I have. And so I found those parts and tried them out, and I've been riding around with it for the last hour, just off and on. I drove here to Home Depot and picked up those bolts. So here's the other side. This one was a little bit more of a bear. Hopefully it can come through. Yeah, because you see I've got the fuel lines and some other stuff I got to fix. Yay. no comment yet. But the similar approach worked on this side. I actually affixed this guy down here first, and then snugged it up right down here, all with the I guess you call them the plastic tensioners wraps on the struts before I cut those, to make sure that I could still swap everything out as I needed to. So all in all, man, it is definitely Cadillac ride in the tail end and the butt compared to just riding on leaf springs like I was, because this like I said, this was the post that had completely broken off, and so there was no dampening happening at all here. Oh, one more thing, I did install these with the boot up. I believe that's the correct way to do it. One way that I also read to do it was to orient the shocks so that the label is able to be read the correct way. Up, not I can't really see it, but the label should not be upside down like that. You should be able to read the label correctly. That was one thing that I had read, and apparently I don't. In my case, I don't believe that's that was the way to do it for me. Maybe that's the way to do it for other configurations. I don't know, but this seemed to work for me. And this is actually the way that the struts were in there before. The previous struts were in here, so I just kind of ran with that. So anyway, that's a quick little rundown. Hope you all enjoyed it. This is just one particular data point, one reader's way of doing things, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. Catch you next time.